Hi guys, it's Irina. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna talk about my Apple Watch. This is the tech I've been using every single day since launch. I have a lot to say about it, so let's begin. This is the Apple Watch Series 10 in size 42mm, and you always ask me, are you sure it's not 46mm? And yes, this is the 42mm version. It's just I have super tiny baby wrists. I know you always ask me about the circumference of my wrist, and I totally get it. It could be helpful when you're picking the right size of the Apple Watch or a band for yourself. For reference, it's 13 centimeters or 5.2 inches. This Apple Watch has a titanium case in gold finish, and I think it looks perfect. When you compare this Apple Watch to the newer Apple Watch 11, there is not really much difference. So this year I was not even considering upgrading to the Series 11. Maybe next year, depends on how appealing the new features will be. The Apple Watch 10 and 11 are the same in terms of display brightness, the bezels and the overall shape looks very similar on these models. By the way, I upgraded to this Apple Watch 10 from the Series 7, and I remember one of my first impressions and first things I've noticed was the brighter display on the Apple Watch 10 when compared to my Series 7, and also I was impressed with the new speaker. The audio quality is so much better on the Apple Watch 10, and now you can play music right on the watch, and that's pretty cool. When it comes to all the features the Apple Watch 10 has, you can see the whole list on the Apple website and compare it with other models, but I want to take a moment and appreciate the fact that the blood oxygen is back. I remember in March 2025, I didn't feel well and I wanted to check the blood oxygen and I saw this. And then I was surprised to find out that this feature had been removed from the Apple Watch over a year ago in the US. And yeah, I was not really big on using this feature at the time because when this feature was removed, I had a one-year-old baby on my hands. So yeah, the good thing is now it's back, but you can't see the result right away on your watch anymore. You have to open the Health app on your iPhone to view it, which is better than nothing, but of course it was much more convenient when you could see the result on your Apple Watch right away. Speaking of watchOS 26, I feel like it now gives us more options in terms of customization and what metrics you could put on your watch face. I absolutely adore these minimal watch faces. They look so cool and cute. But at the same time, I've always treated my Apple Watch as a helpful device, one that can actually substitute my phone sometimes. So I prefer using these more practical, data-rich watch faces that let you put many apps and metrics on them. And I definitely noticed that now there's more variety to choose from, and I love it. My go-to apps are messages, voice memos, workout, weather. I also have steps here from the pedometer app, and of course my best friend, the calendar app. I'm very happy that now you can use WhatsApp on your Apple Watch. I have a lot of friends around the world, so I use WhatsApp quite often. Sometimes I wish I could access even more apps from my Apple Watch, but at the same time, the question is, would it be convenient to use them on the Apple Watch? I'm not so sure, but I wish I had ChatGPT and Gemini on my Apple Watch. Next, let's talk about battery life. And first, let's check the battery health of this Apple Watch after 1 year and 3 months to be precise. Surprisingly, it's 100%, even though I've been using this Apple Watch practically every single day. Also, the brightness has always been set to max on this watch. Honestly, I'm impressed. I was expecting something around 97 to 98%. I would say this is the number I usually get on an Apple Watch after using it for 1 year. So yeah, that's quite impressive. Apple claims that the Apple Watch Series 10 has up to 18 hours of battery life, and normally I put my Apple Watch on the charger before I go to bed. I don't sleep with my Apple Watch as I personally find it uncomfortable. You can track your sleep with the Apple Watch, which is great, but I prefer using a ring for that. So normally I leave my Apple Watch charging during the night, unless I get paranoid thinking maybe it's not as safe as they say, so I take it off the charger when it's fully charged and then go to bed. So in the morning I have either 100% battery if it was charging overnight, or around 96% if I got paranoid before going to bed. And by the end of the day, before putting my Apple Watch in the charger, the battery is usually at around 40 to 50%. But I've tried sleeping with my Apple Watch a few times, and usually in the morning it's around 30%, which is still good good. Of course, the battery life will depend on how you use your watch. For example, if the always on display is on, in my case it's always on, or if you use the workout app a lot, it will even depend on the type of workouts you do, especially if it involves using GPS and navigation. Some apps are just more battery hungry. I've noticed that the camera control is quite draining, so for me, with my lifestyle, the battery life of the Apple Watch 10 is enough. But if it's not for you, then you should think about upgrading to the Series 11, where the battery life is up to 24 hours. As I've already mentioned, the Series 10 has an upgraded speaker, which is great. I don't really listen to music on my Apple Watch, but when I'm on a call or I play an audio message, there is a huge difference in sound quality. Let's talk about bands. My absolute favorite type of band is the braided solo loop. I tried it once, and since then I just find it hard to switch to another type of band. This band is an exception, and I'll talk about it in a minute. But yeah, the braided solo loops are the most comfortable and breathable bands I've ever tried. They feel a bit tight at first, but they stretch out pretty fast. And this is a good and a bad thing about this band, because at some point it stretches out to the point where my watch kind of starts spinning around my wrist. The thing is, these bands are quite expensive. It cost $100. So I found a brand that makes something similar, but much more affordable. It's called Solace. It's not sponsored, I'm just sharing my experience. The quality is pretty good. I would say it's not as good as the Apple braided solo loop. It's not as soft, but it has its own pros. It's machine washable, it's more durable, and it doesn't stretch out so fast. So if you're looking for something similar but more affordable, try this brand. A few words about this band. This is a titanium band from Sandmark, and surprisingly, I've been wearing it for a couple of months now, and I don't want to change it yet. It just looks so beautiful and expensive. The quality is amazing. I even managed to adjust it to my tiny wrist. Also, I was surprised that it's actually comfortable. I also have the Apple Milanese loop, but I don't really wear it. It's not that comfortable. I'll put all the links in the description. If you have any band recommendations, please share. I'd love to try something new. One of the best things about the Apple Watch is that with the new updates you get many new features, and your Apple Watch doesn't have to necessarily be the latest model to get them. And I'm not only talking about new watch faces, I mean, we all love them, but also some really helpful features like having notes on your Apple Watch, or some health-related features like hypertension alerts. Also, I like how the workout app looks now. It's much more customizable and has more features. And finally, the flick gesture has been quite useful. The Apple Watch Series 10 runs on the S10 chip, the same chip as the Series 11. When it comes to performance, it's been very good. So far, I think there was only one time when I had to restart my Apple Watch because it got a bit slow for some reason. But overall, it's been great even after the new watchOS 26. Unlike my iPhone 17 Pro, on which my experience was far from smooth in the beginning. So if you're thinking about getting the Apple Watch Series 10, I highly recommend it. From my experience, it's been great. The battery performance has been amazing, and with the new watchOS, the overall experience is now even better. That's all for this video, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.